Hello guys, Master Mistress Blank Baxi here with another video about forestry and carpentry. Uh, like I say, I always want to start remembering that the carpenter is quite an important, for a guild especially, is quite an important profession, but it's quite independent. It doesn't depend so much of the other professions in order to do his stuff. Something that the reason of why I tell you this, it's because, for example, something that we're gonna notice right now because of the Christmas and everything, I don't have it really well at speed, but something that is quite interesting is that he will generate a lot of XP, the carpenter. So usually certain things like uprooting or cutting down trees, it can be done by characters that are more difficult to XP, like the constructor or the miner. Sometimes it depends how much you mine, but sometimes certain other characters are more difficult to XP, so you can XP them cutting trees that your carpenter planted, and also sometimes doing boards. What I wanted to show you today is as well some other importance of the carpenter, like snap of a branch. Okay, this is a little bit undermined. People are used to gathering with just this skill, and they forget that the carpenter can snap branches. The benefit of this, as we can see, is that the branches are quality 100. Yes. If you notice, I was planting some oaks. Last time I promised you I was going to show you planting some aspen trees. Unfortunately, time passed and we didn't manage to do it. But I wanted to show you why the carpenter as well is so important for other professions without depending on them. When you press O, you go to your crafting. The carpenter will craft here certain stuff, okay, that we're going to be seeing later on, but the carpenter will also craft here. And where the carpenter is really important is to do handles, yes, and to do small repair kits that are really used. This is one of the few things that the carpenter requires in other profession, which is the blacksmith, to do nails. But that is one of the few things. Another really interesting thing that the carpenter will do, it's arrows and bolts, okay, and that's what I was branching, for example. So you will craft arrows and bows out of branches or out of billets. I usually craft them out of branches for your teammates, okay? And they become like quite interesting. Something that most people don't understand, it's this skill is this crafting is done with the knife. I have my knife at 80. I can make you knives at 80. But it will be interesting to get a knife at 100, especially to do repair kits and to do good bows. We can talk about bows later on. We've been discussing it. Simple bows are extremely difficult to use, although you can use them right away. But they don't do much damage. They're really difficult to aim. So we're just gonna try to go for either short bows. Okay, we were talking about it, long bows or composites. Okay, as you can see, I can already do long bows with amberwood. This is quite interesting if we choose to go with the long bow, because we have plenty of amberwood. Amberwood, which I wanted to talk to you about, is obtained with pine. Okay, usually you will do softwood billets with pines. That's what I plant so many. But you can also do amberwood and you can do longbows, and we already have it at 100. I really hope this one is one of them. I missed the last pine day. Yeah, there you are. I missed the last pine day, so I couldn't complete. One thing that I forgot to mention is that trees will die eventually if you don't cut them down. So you have like a year in-game time, so it's like 4 months, and then the tree dies. So it's important that once a tree is mature, that we all cut it down and we store the wood into a claimed area so it will not decay. Okay. Something else that the carpenter does, it's with this one, the carpenter's toolkit. Now, on the side of doing the mallet, which is quite important, okay, you can do shields and this, which is quite interesting. We're going to be doing this for a teammate that asked me. Yes, doors and windows, okay, and we're going to talk a little bit about those, okay. Now, why do I want to talk about doors and windows? because of a completely different thing that we've been mentioning, but now we start seeing the importance of it, which is regional stuff. Doors, especially, and it's a good way of the carpenter. I'm going to be making a special video for the carpenter. It's a good ways of making money, and I'm going to show you. But I'm just going to tell you that one of the ways is exactly doing that, by doing doors, by doing regional doors, I'm sorry, and or by selling straight away the boards, the regional boards. So keep that in mind. Keep always that in mind that the carpenter is it's independent. He can make you good doors and sell them into market for regional. Okay. Now we're going to be making regular doors. They're made the same. The difference is that you put regional wood. Certain structures, like the warehouse, yes, will require a regular door, but certain other structures will require regional doors, especially the most complicated ones, and that's when you want to use your carpenter, your regional wood to do the doors. Okay, you can as well do a lot of bunch of boards, like we're gonna be I'm gonna be doing some right now. When you do the boards, you're gonna notice that sometimes if we click here, we can see what's regional and what's not. I don't have anything regional. Let's hope I get some regional now. But what we are aiming for here is if we were to get some regional wood, we could either do a door and it will belong to all region, which is Kachakan. Okay, I'm sorry, the pronunciation is not the greatest, but that will not be really useful to us. A Kachakan door usually is not really useful to yourself unless we build in another region. So that's why you usually what you do is you just sell them into market. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's a good way of making money on the side of making stuffs. Okay, we already have 9 boards, which is what I need for the door. They're hardwood boards. Okay, you saw that I have my carpenter toolkit, but I rather use the carpenter shop. I show you. You see, use workbench, and notice that the recipes come up in regular. You have your blueprints here. I don't have any, obviously, but we're gonna go by that. But when you need to use them, they're right there. So how do we do the door? We just click in the door module. We'll make sure that we have all of the ingredients. Yes, we do. Metal bands, hardwood boards, and logs. Something that it didn't happen, but it's quite interesting. Let's say that we had 8 boards that were regular and 1 that was regional. You don't want to craft it in that way because it will use your regional wood, but it will not give you a regional door. So remember that in order to do a regional door, you need the 9 boards to be regional. Okay? So we're going to be crafting this for our guildmate. And it's pretty much the same game concept for when we want to do the windows, because basically what you do instead of using hardwood is what I was here today. Sorry, just 1 second, it's my saw. I don't want to use my 80 saw. That's another thing that we're going to be seeing in the next video, but I already prepared you for it. The carpenter does a lot of furniture. This is why he's so useful. He can do so many things, yeah? And I don't know why he didn't start it. Sometimes he does that. And yeah, so that's just really useful. The carpenter can do a lot of things, not just doors and windows, and just what I told you, but he can do furniture. Furniture can be movable. Some of the most useful furniture is what we all use, which is the carts, for example, that the carpenter will be able to do at level 90. Okay, right now the game is not wanting me to give me boards for some reason. Okay, and so yeah, the carpenter, like I was saying, is quite useful as a profession. Is to keep in mind that you have a wide variety. You do trees, you do furniture, you do doors, you do windows, and you can produce a lot of things without depending so much or so heavily in another professions. Okay, in other professions, or not as much as the other professions depend. Okay. So window module, like I was saying, is made with glass and softwood boards. We're gonna craft a few. Glass is made out of sand, and the blacksmith does it. That's killing, yes, as you can see. And that this is, like I said, one of the few times that the carpenter is going to depend on another profession. As well, like I told you at the beginning, the staff is a good way of making money as well, because it requires only one hardwood board, and that's it. So you just go, cut it, and you finish. Alright? Like I always say, always remember to pray. I pray a day, it takes people lots of pay. And last thing that I wanted to show you is our carpenter's shop that eventually we're going to remake as perfect buildings like everything. Yes, like always it has a certain durability. This one is 16700, okay, so it means that our carpenter shop is not the greatest quality. Still we can make decent stuff, 96, yeah. 96, yeah. I think that we're happy with regular doors like that. Eventually we'll just get out of we want everything perfect. But this type of things, this type of buildings will also give you, if you notice, the ability of claim as your home. So when we do bases far away, sometimes you will see me doing a carpenter shop or doing a herbalist shop. That is to place one player base, to have the possibility to have one player's base right there, okay? Like I said, see, that's one of the furnitures that the carpenter will do that are really useful, especially at the beginning. Maybe the carpenter as a profession needs a little nerfing, maybe not. I'm just explaining you where we are right now. I did notice that different than other professions, the carpenter will die down. You see I'm building a horse cart, really useful. With line and rope, this is where you most require other professions, yeah, the wheels that I forgot to make, like the metal components, okay? But if the carpenter needs nerfing or not, it's not up to us. I'm just showing you what it is. I did notice that in higher levels, it sort of like dies down a little bit, the last two skills, like warfare engineering. Yes, you can make naphtha, but unless you're in a PvP area, this is not really useful, okay? And bow crafting, whereas it's really useful, it doesn't give you much possibilities per se, other than making arrows, bolts, and just like bows and an arbalest. So that's they sort of try to compensate with that, but still I think it's a little bit OP as a profession. Yes, he can XP really fast, he can do a lot of useful stuff, many people depends on him, yet he depends on really little. I'm not advertising carpentry as a profession, I'm just stating what I experience in my gameplay. That with some other professions I struggle, whereas with the carpenter was like really easy to advance it and with great benefits in all sides, like easy to make money, easy to advance, easy to XP, useful, dependable, and all of that. So if you want to go for carpentry, those are your ideas. As if you notice, like I see a lot of like grown trees that I'm not cutting down, and the reason why I'm not cutting down with the carpenter, it's because I want to cut it down with other characters so they can XP with the wood, because she doesn't really need, just by me doing just little stuff. If you notice, I did 50,000 in what we were doing the video, which is pretty hefty. Yes, if I was to like, I don't know, just I decide that I don't want to carry this, we're gonna saw it out as a board. I needed to do wheels anyway, so this is why we're sawing it out. Yeah, and as you can see, it's not really good quality 70s. Yes, but yeah, that's this is what I wanted. Okay, here we go. Alright, so this is what I want you to understand. Each of these hardwood boards can sell for up to 8 silver in the market, just straight like that, okay? So imagine that in these 5 minutes, yes, just by me doing boards, I just done 16 silver, okay? Even the blacksmith will need like her to help, the carpenter to help him, and it will take time for him to do. 8 of silver is quite a lot of money. It's even more money if you were to, instead of just like keep it, just go and do a door module, okay? I'm not gonna ruin my wood to prove a point of showing you how it will consume, but I wanted to double remind you, you see I'm about to do stuff, but I remove my regional, okay? Because we don't wanna use regional there. Yes, and the secondary reason of why I cut like that. Okay, in this case it didn't happen, but it can happen to you that maybe you keep cutting, they fall down to the floor, and maybe, just maybe, you get some regionals. So never, always remember to check, okay? Even when I don't have the carpenter shop, I do have my carpenter toolkit that I will be making a few for us, for everybody, yes? So what we can do, so we don't need really like the carpenter shop, you could try to just do wheels. In this case I don't have enough nails, but I could try just to do wheels or just to do staffs, okay? And yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I didn't get overextended, and I start covering a little bit more with these videos of what you need to do in order to manage the professions, right? Because I said I was going to do it, I just want to do it. I want to do at least one wheel. I mean, show you how I do one wheel. Okay? So with this, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much, and I see you in the next video, guys.